All right, y'all. So Giancarlo Esposito said at one point he was so low, like so down bad and so broke, that he considered getting someone to end his life so that his kids at least could get the insurance money. So I want to talk about this, right? And why so many artists have this kind of story. I just wish this society treated artists so much better. Let's talk about it. So let's get into this Variety article. Of course, the link to it will be in my description. Giancarlo Esposito appeared on a recent episode of SiriusXM's Jim and Sam show while promoting his new AMC drama series, Parish, and revealed that he was so broke prior to landing his iconic role of Gus on Breaking Bad that he once considered arranging his own murder so that his children could have some financial protection courtesy of his life insurance money. The actor considered this around 2008, a year before Breaking Bad changed his career and opened the door for roles in The Mandalorian, The Boys, and more. Asked how he got out of near bankruptcy around 2008, Esposito said, "My way out in my brain was, hey, do you get life insurance if someone commits suicide? Do they get the bread?" My wife had no idea why I was asking this stuff. I started scheming. If I got somebody to knock me off, death by misadventure, my kids would get the insurance. I had 4 kids. I wanted them to have a life. It was a hard moment in time. I literally thought of self-annihilation so they could survive. That's how low I was. That was a first inkling that there was a way out, but I wouldn't be here to be available to my kids. Then I started thinking that's not viable because the pain I would cause them would be lifelong, and there'd be lifelong trauma that would just extend the generational trauma I'm trying to move away from. The light at the end of the tunnel was Breaking Bad. So once I saw this, I was like, yo, I got to talk about this, right? I got to talk about this, especially as like another creative, right? Like obviously I'm not on HBO. I'm not no super famous actor or anything like that. Like I ain't no rich ass artist. But at the same time, it's just like we see this story happen with so many artists, right? So many artists that we love, but so many artists in general. And my thing is that there's some artists that don't get their Breaking Bad moment. Like there's some artists who are at that like suicidal moment and they're like, well, I don't have a fucking Breaking Bad, girl. Like I don't have none of this shit that would like make my life make more sense to be doing this art. I just think that artists in general should not have to hit this, oh, Breaking Bad, oh, a big TV show, oh, a big movie. We should not have to break into those like $1 trillion deals in order to live our lives as an artist, right? Because my thing is, right, like, remember when you was a kid and your you told your parents what you wanted to be, and there were some parents, I guess, child, and they were like, it's given, you know, you might want to be X, Y, and Z, but it's giving doctor and lawyer, babes. you understand what I'm saying? So I just wish that I wish that society valued artists in the same way that, like, because to me, society is obsessed with art, right? Art would not have lasted this long. Y'all love old ass art. Centuries, millennia, right? Will go by and y'all will still value the art that was created. But at the same time, y'all don't want to pay these artists. I'm just like, there should be a way in society where an artist can art. An artist can do their art. They don't have to be a trillionaire, and they will still be able to survive, make a living in this country. I just hate that so many of our favorite artists, like from Viola Davis to whatever, like they had this genius, they had this artistic genius, in poverty, and like they were destitute, right? And it, like I said, it's so annoying that society is obsessed with art. Society cannot survive without art. I mean, even if you look at the pandemic, how many people hopped their ass online was just like, I need something, TV shows, anything, right? This society is obsessed with art. I hate that. Unless you on TV as an artist, if you ain't on TV, if you ain't making millions of dollars, It's just sometimes the art is an unsustainable way to make a living. And it should not be that way if y'all are so fucking obsessed with art and artists. Like, I don't get it. If this world is obsessed with everything everything artists do, they can't sit their ass down with their own thoughts, so they need some distraction. You know what I mean? Like, if this world is this obsessed with artists, you would think that this society would set up something for artists to thrive and survive. But think about, like I mentioned before, when you talking to the adults in your life as a kid, they don't want you to be no fucking artist. They don't want you to be no art. They want you to be somebody scientist, somebody doctor, like I said, somebody lawyer. They want you, and that's fine. Like, if you have a passion for those things, you should be allowed to do that. There's no shame in doing that. But I think with the way that society is so obsessed with art and like how we don't have any safety nets for artists, we don't have no kind of like cultivating programs for artists. We don't set aside any fucking money, I mean tax-wise, government-wise, to make sure that artists can live a fucking life if they not famous and rich. Like, we don't value that shit in this society. We don't value it at all. And yet we're obsessed. And yet we continue to consume these fucking artists' work. We don't want to pay these artists. I mean, from animators, VFX people, painters, writers. Like, we just don't want to pay that shit. When people say, oh, I want to be a painter, an illustrator, I want to be something quirky, something fun, right? You will get all the shame. All the shame. Even from your own parents, like even from your own family, you will get the shame. You will see the shame, right? But I really hope that in the future we can develop something that makes more sense, right, for artists. I think that if this country can find a way to drop bombs overseas, right, we can find a way to oppress other countries. We can find a way to do coups across this fucking seas. We can find a way to do that shit. You telling me we can't find a way to pay artists? You telling me we can't have some grant, something to pay these artists so that they don't have to struggle and approach bankruptcy, approach suicidal intent, before they even see something? I don't know. Like I said, I saw this story and I was like, yo, this is insane. Because so many artists have this moment. So many artists have this self-doubt where it's like, well, y'all ain't paying me. I ain't getting shit. At least let my kids have something. At least maybe I can like do something so that my children will be able to have some financial safety, right? I hate that we do this to artists. We push them to the edge as a society, and then when they come out, Breaking Bad, they come out, with a super famous song, they come out with some crazy movie or some shit, then we're like, oh my god, they're so amazing, they're so talented. I mean, you could see from how Giancarlo Esposito was acting that it seemed like he was acting like his rent was fucking due, because it was. He has so much heart, so much energy, so much talent when he's acting. And now to hear the story behind, like, girl, of course he's acting like of course he's acting like rent is due. It was due. It was due. But like I said, I just hate that we do this to artists. I hate that we're so like, oh, fuck art. It ain't gonna pay you shit. We as a society are not going to go out of our way to pay you shit, but we're still obsessed with it. But still make it. But if you don't make the art like how we want it, we're gonna drag the shit out you. It's like, girl, it's crazy. It's crazy. So I just want to say that I definitely want to see what you guys think about this. Thank you so much for watching. Love y'all so much, and I'll catch y'all later. Peace. Make sure that you're going to www.zeraxia.com. When you join the wait list there on the site, you will be the first to be notified when I drop my sequel. Also, you'll immediately get chapter 1 of my upcoming sequel of the upcoming book sent to your email as a PDF. So check that out. Also, this is a different excerpt from my upcoming book, so you definitely want to pause to read if you're trying to get your life. Keep in mind that this upcoming book, the sequel, is following up the first book that is already released called Xeraxia, Wrath of the God King. I released it a few years ago. It was my introduction to writing fantasy and stuff, so just go easy on me. But either way, as you can see here, it's given 4.9 stars. It's given 4.9 stars. So yeah, check out Xeraxia, Wrath of the God King while you wait for Xeraxia, The Vengeance of Coldwind, right? And go to Xeraxia.com, sign up, join the waitlist, get your free chapter. Thank you so much.